DAMIAN Matter, and this is the continuation of my Money in the Bank review, look back at, I guess, or whatever you can call that, or it doesn't matter, I forgot to put that in the last one. So, yeah, 2013. A good year for me. It was quite the opposite. 2011 I thought was a good year for WWE. Not necessarily a good year for myself, personally. 2013 was a good year for me personally, but I don't know, just a hit and miss. I wouldn't necessarily say it was the shits, but it was not as good as it could be. So, here we are. So, the pre-show got the Shield, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns defeating the Usos. Kind of interesting because, this is for the tag team titles. Of course, the Shield were the champions, and of course, Dean Ambrose was Seth Rollins. Sorry. Anyways, you have Roman Reigns and the Usos, who are cousins, obviously, the NOI tribe. Kind of apropos, you look at today, and it seems like the bloodline is crumbling. So, anyways, I'm sure this was a good match. Obviously, was a fan of the Shield. I thought they were a very good stable. Could have had more people, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, and of course the Usos were just in their infancy. They came in 2 years prior, maybe 3 years, well no, 2 years prior for Tamina. That would have been an interesting, you know, if that still happened, but that was, you know, pretty cool to see these guys in action, and I mean, obviously they're still in it. Now, like literally, you have Roman Reigns as the WWE Champion, and you have Seth Rollins as the new World Champion. Like, imagine that. You wouldn't think 10 years ago you would see anything like that. You wouldn't have predicted it, but there it is. So that's pretty fucking cool. And these guys were the tag team champions. Dean Ambrose was the US champion. So, we have the Money in the Bank match, the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got DAMIAN Sandow, who defeated Antonio Cesaro. Yes, Antonio Cesaro. Cody Rhodes, Dean Ambrose, as I mentioned, the US champion. You have Fandango, the Samurai, Jack Swagger, what's up, Coulter, and Wade Barrett. This was a pretty good match too. Again, these were very talented individuals. We saw a few of them in the last pay-per-view that I had reviewed earlier ago, and yeah, this match was awesome. And you have Cody Rhodes and DAMIAN Sandow as the Rhodes Scholars, and DAMIAN Sandow went up on the ladder and got the Money in the Bank. So let me get this straight. And you know what? It is about time that I get this off my chest. And I'm pretty sure I did back then. Because I'm sorry. Aaron Rex did not deserve this fucking treatment. So he comes in, he had the vignettes with the whole savior of the masses, the savior of the unwashed masses, if you will. And I thought it was pretty good. It didn't go anywhere! He wins Money in the Bank, and what happens? Him and Cody, well, obviously they broke up. They have a match. And Damian loses the briefcase. Are you satisfied now? So, my thing that really, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. Why? It could have given Damien Sandow a title. It didn't have to be a world title. It didn't have to be a WWE title. Hell, you could have put the US title on him. You could have put the Intercontinental title on him. He teams up with The Miz. They win the tag team titles, and it has to have the replica! This, to me, is an example of what WWE could do that fucks things up. Because if I were ever to X, I would have fucking left a long time ago. But, you know, it is what it is. And it really is sad because he, like I said, is a great wrestler. He did a lot for Impact until they fucked that up and they made that Gorgeous George gimmick. I just don't get it. I just don't understand what the logic was there. And what you did for Cody 2 years ago, well, a year ago, I guess, coming back and rewriting it wrong, you could have did that earlier with Sandow. But you didn't want to fucking do that. This was the shit. And I know he wasn't the first guy to win the Money in the Bank and lose it. You know, this is just, not to me, should have never happened. It was stupid, it was bullshit, and it should have never happened. That's what I call terrible booking. Maybe it was a good thing for the time, I don't know. But fuck, really? So now we have this match. We got the Intercontinental title. Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman, who defeated The Miz. And this match was cool because, you know, yeah, you had the perfect plex. You put it over. And I think one of the things that was cool about this was, yeah, he was Michael McGillicuddy in NXT coming back with Paul Heyman, and you take the first name of Kurt Hennig, his father. You have Larry the Axe Hennig, his grandfather. You have Curtis Axel. It was also fitting that he won the Intercontinental title, which was held by Mr. Perfect on Father's Day. So, it was cool. I mean, the whole thing with him and RYBACK as a team, I think you could have did a lot more with Curtis Axel. I'm not quite sure what happened. But once again, he is an agent in WWE, so there's really no loss there. He's still in the company. But there could have been more potential with him. You know, a win over The Miz, though, I think was awesome. No pun intended. You know, this match for the Divas title, I talked about that earlier, was what it was. You have AJ Lee with Big E Langston. I don't know why they cut that name out. Versus Caitlyn with Layla. You have NXT, AJ and Caitlyn were basically besties. They were in a tag team of Kaboom. I had a huge crush on AJ, and Caitlyn wasn't bad to look at either. But this match was awesome, and I mean, you have Caitlyn pull up the spear. First woman that I saw really do that, and she pulled out a badass spear. And AJ won the octopus, won the match, retaining the title, and again, just one of those women that no one knew the issues that she had behind the scenes, but I honestly think she had a really good run. Like, I really do. I think that, she could have stayed in a company if things went sour. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. But, and even Caitlyn, she came back in 2016 after a couple of years, and she had her own YouTube channel. So, I mean, I'm sure she's still doing some things in Texas or wherever she is, and that's pretty cool. That's awesome. We got AJ Lee, April Jeanette Mendez, who is, wow. So, the president, I should say. So, that's pretty cool. You got this match. You got Chris Jericho versus RYBACK. That was an okay match. I mean, RYBACK wasn't exactly the best wrestler. And, I mean, I think Chris can take chicken shit and make chicken salad. Well, for the most part. And I think he tried his best. But RYBACK ended up going over. And there it is. So, you got this match here for the World Heavyweight title. Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler. This match was cool. And there was a point you have Dolph Ziggler hit a super X Factor off the top rope, obviously. And he won the Famouser. Well, AJ Lee came out, so that distracted Alberto. And I mean, I think the thing about Dolph Ziggler too, Nick Nemeth, is, in my opinion, they kind of used him wrong. I wish they would have used him where he didn't. It just seems like he stole a lot of wrestlers' moves. The Famouser, the Rude Awakening, just things that didn't need to really happen. He could have been his own wrestler, but for some reason that happened. It is what it is, obviously. And I did mark out, obviously, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. And that was cool. It kind of is like, it was his time. And by his own rights, he is a Grand Slam champion, except not winning the WWE Championship. So, I mean, it is what it is there. But, again, somebody that's not my favorite wrestler, but I do respect in a certain way. Alberto had his issues, so I mean, whatever. You have this match, you've got WWE Championship on the line, John Cena and Mark Henry. Now, the story that Mark had come up with a salmon-colored suit, and he said that he was going to retire, go back to Salisbury, and John Cena came out with the title, and Mark had the title that John gave him, but he said, no, I have to earn this. So then afterwards, John puts up his hand, and then the swerve happens. Mark does the world's strongest slam to John Cena, gets on the mic and says, you think this is easy? Something like that. So that was probably one of the best psychs ever. But anyways, this match was good. John Cena went over. And maybe it was STFU. Regardless, this was a good match, and you kind of thought that Mark was going to win the WWE title. Hell, I know I did. But of course that didn't happen. But this was a good match all around. And then you have the match for the WWE Contract Championship. You know, you have Randy Orton, Christian, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Rob Van Dam, and Sheamus. This match was awesome. Randy ended up going over. It was your typical, it was a great ladder match, you know, and all these guys, you know, fuck, even Rob Van Dam. You know, the guy was in his 40s at this point and could still go. That was pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, it was interesting to see these guys, and you didn't know what was going to happen. Yes, I was mad that Randy went over, but again, it is what it is, you know. So this show was good, you know, despite some things, you know. It was good. It wasn't as good as the last few that I did, but anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you later with, let's see, 2017. Which, again, you know, it's like a flip-flopping kind of. This was a good year too. Well, like 2011 for WWE. And for me personally. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, talk to you later. Bye.
Anymore. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But you know, I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews, like